Alright, second try at this video. I just did a long walk and talk. Did the whole video. It was like 20 minutes. And the goddamn camera, when the batteries went dead, it didn't save the file. It's just really irritating. So it's a nice little camera, but yeah, I mean, that's a really bad feature, not saving the file before it dies. So anyway, yeah, I lost it all. Alright, response to League of Reasons blog TV. Sorry, I usually jump in the pool, but I was too nervy. So yeah, it's just not going very well this evening. So yeah, I listened to most of it, and it was really horrible. I mean, all the callers were fake. It was just a contrived, going over redundantly the same old crap arguments about religion. And it comes down to this argument mostly, whether it's better for people to have some sort of fairy tale to live by, or no fairy tale, and whether it gives some people some comfort. And so yeah, the obvious point was made a little bit anyway, that the truth is more important than how you feel. But there was a part of it though where these atheists are sort of trying to compete with religion. I mean, they're almost making the argument that, oh yeah, being an atheist is fun. All we have to do is show them how happy and fun-loving we are, and that'll make them all want to be atheists. Like somehow having to deal with the realization that life is shit. You snuck in here, didn't you? Is fun. But these people are just they're just full of shit. I really dislike all of these guys. Thunderfoot, Drama's Wake, Aaron Ra, DPR Jones. I mean, they're all the worst kind of atheists. I mean, they're these atheists that take no responsibility for the facts. They also malign philosophy. It was almost towards the end they were talking about it, and they were just talking like philosophy was shit. Taking the facts that we can discern, about the reality, the circumstance we live in, and logically throwing that stuff together and drawing some conclusions about our existence, what we're made out of, what our psychology is doing, how we've been manipulated through 2 billion years of evolution. I don't think there's more important questions to answer than those questions. What does it mean? What does a feeling represent? These are the important questions. Getting the exact atomic weight of that leaf really isn't quite as important. Thunderfoot, he goes on oh, look what scientific naturalism gave us, the internal combustion engine and peanut butter and all this stuff, and it also gave us nuclear bombs. And obviously it didn't give us enough wisdom to know not to use them. So I don't think that argument goes a lot of different ways. It gave us a bunch of oil in the Gulf of Mexico. It's given us a lot of shit. So anyway, and so I guess it's just the basic arguments. I mean, Drama's Wake guy basically arguing that somehow we don't have enough information to draw a conclusion that it's a deterministic cause and effect universe. That somehow that's a wide open question. That 99.99999% of the logical evidence, the observable evidence, indicates cause and effect, but that's not enough. We have to have some sort of absolute proof before we can say those words, that yes, it's a deterministic universe. And why? Because there's this quantum mechanics that he calls a theory, which is, they're two different things. Quantum theory and quantum mechanics, he should know that. One is just error math that's just taking that just basically puts equations inside of equations. So instead of resolving something like pi, or like pi divided by apple pie, like that would be a very hard thing to figure out. Pi divided by apple pie, that's going to be a mushy equation. So instead of having an absolute number for it, you just take the whole equation and you move it through the other equations, and so you give it a probabilistic representation, and just so you can do your math. And you retain the error as you do the math, so the end product also contains that probabilistic, could be this, could be that, okay, because we don't know. But I mean, again, it's this idea that where do they go look for this lack of cause and effect? In the smallest particles, the ones we can't look at, the ones we can't build a microscope powerful enough to see. We can't see them because they are what sight is made out of. I mean, it's just we can't observe them without influencing them. Obviously, there's no way to interact with them without affecting them. And that doesn't demonstrate anything. That doesn't open a door to a non-cause and effect universe at all. Not an inch, not a crack, not a tiny millimeter. It provides no... Cat wants to go out. Hey, stupid, you figured it out. There you go. He could figure out how to get in, but he couldn't figure out how to get out. Brain fart, freeze, or whatever. So anyway, yeah, so that's just bullshit. I mean, this guy's went to school and everything. He should really know better than talking that kind of crap. But yeah, then they're maligning philosophy, and then Thunderfoot uses this term scientific naturalism, whatever the fuck that is, like somehow nature knows what it's doing. Both him and the Adrama's Wake guy somehow believe that we have innate morality, that we're innately moral, that we're not innately racist, that we're not innately nepotistic and nationalistic and xenophobic and all these other things. No, that's not our innateness. No, that's something else. Bullshit. We're innately nepotistic. We're innately selfish. I mean, there should be a tistic word for that. We're innately stupid, crude, dumb animals, and we demonstrated it throughout history. We were innately able to own slaves. We were innately able to mass murder on grotesque scales. So that's our innate morality. It doesn't exist. We are innately assholes, and it's only through intelligence and culture that we've become anything else. And to not recognize that is philosophy, that philosophy has done that for us. Okay, ethical, rational philosophy has gotten us free of our innate bigotries. Intelligence, wisdom, not wisdom of some material fact, wisdom and knowledge of some immaterial contextual reality, that suffering has significance, that pain and unpleasantness experienced by these other beings is not a good thing. We've been able to figure that out through philosophy, not through some dissection with a cyclotron. We did it because we rationally observed the world, we scientifically dissected the world, and then we rationally and logically analyzed those facts and put them together and drew conclusions. And we drew obvious conclusions that my consciousness isn't better than that consciousness or that consciousness or that consciousness. And these guys whine because, the creationists aren't up to the fight. Well, of course they're not. The average religious person does not believe in God because it makes logical sense. They do it for emotional reasons. So what, you're going to argue their emotional reasons? That's kind of stupid. You're going to argue basically the fact that, well, that was brought up as. You can't really argue that. The only thing you can do is try to persuade them why they don't want to be religious, why they don't want to have that God delusion. And the real argument against it is the thing that you fail completely on. It's because with that delusion you are going to be human-centric. You're going to be completely owned by the DNA molecule and the ambitions of crude desire and the mechanism that is this life game. And the only way you can get past that is through separating yourself from these delusions that DNA has a brain, or that life on Earth is intentional. It's chemistry. Okay, it's reproducing chemistry. All right, even Karina falls into this. I mean, she was good through most of it, but she doesn't call these guys on anything. I mean, DPR Jones made some crack about, the other bird guy. He's all the squawking birds all the time. Putting a cow on his barbecue or something for the 4th of July. Like it's a big fucking joke. But that's exactly it. These people they think they're big, fat, pompous brainiacs, and they're too stupid to figure out that cows feel. And that somebody has to account for that. That when you eat a cow or when you joke about its disposition, how it's going to be disposed of, and how it's treated throughout its life, that has consequence, and that bigotry is part of your innate morality, because you're innately a fucking goddamn human bigot. Okay, you don't acknowledge the truth, the simple fundamental fact that these other animals, these other mammals feel just as intensely as you feel. Yeah, they don't know how to resolve pi. They don't know how to count to 4. Okay, but they do know how to feel. They know how to do that really fucking goddamn good. And you're just a complete motherfucking asshole if you can't acknowledge that. And to joke about the mistreatment, the torture, the horrific suffering that you cause billions of animals every year, and you stupid pompous ass talking about your goddamn fucking charities that accomplish absolutely fucking nothing. You resolve 0.00000000001% of the human suffering and problem with your fucking physicians on motorcycles or whatever the fuck they are.